The House could vote as early as tomorrow on a compromise deal to reopen the government, as today marks day 42 of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. The Senate's compromise package funds the government through January 30th, extending funding for SNAP benefits for a full year and reinstates federal workers who were laid off during the shutdown. But the deal does not include an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits that Democrats have been fighting for. Joining us now to talk more about what this means and other issues impacting Memphis and Shelby County is former Shelby County Commissioner Mike Carpenter. Mike, welcome back to 3 at 3. Always good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
First and foremost, I guess let's look at the winners and losers, if we can, of all of this. I guess we can say some of the winners are going to be the federal workers who should be returning to work possibly soon.
Absolutely. And then over and above that, the American people, of course, with having their government back open and operating, assuming this passes the House tomorrow evening. But, you know, if you're a Democratic operative, you're pretty unhappy right now.
Why do you say that?
Because all of the polling across the country throughout the shutdown was showing that voters were giving the blame mostly to Republicans, to the president and the Republicans in Congress. In addition to that, we had elections last week where Democrats swept, showing some dissatisfaction among voters with the direction of the country. And so if you're a Democratic operative, you're saying, hey, we have them right where we want them. You know, we're holding the line on ACA tax credits, and why make a deal now? So there's a rift within the Democratic Party between the progressive wing and the more moderate corporate side.
At the same time, Mike, flip it around for us also. For Republicans and President Trump, do they come out as winners here, or are they also damaged as well?
Well, I think they're definitely damaged. I mean, that's what the polling has shown, and that's what the elections from last week showed. But that said, they may have stopped the bleeding, so to speak, because they had this albatross around their necks. They were getting the blame, and by being able to cut this deal to fund the government, then they don't have to talk about the shutdown anymore, at least not until January.
Okay. And what about those who depend on SNAP benefits, especially, as we know, right here in Memphis and Shelby County and throughout the Mid-South for that matter?
Yeah, I think that's where the Democrats were caught between a rock and a hard place, is that you can hold the line for the 22 million Americans on ACA tax credits, but you've got 45 million Americans who rely on SNAP who weren't getting their benefits. And so it becomes a real conundrum. Are you going to play politics with these folks who can't get their groceries? Right. Or are you going to make the deal that you can make and hopefully get a vote on ACA in December?
Because when we're talking about the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, as some people have referred to it as, premiums could, skyrocket? Yeah,
premiums are going to go through the roof. That's something that everybody on both sides agrees. You know, the Republicans will say, well, we need to reform the whole system, and the Democrats say we need to extend the tax credits. But that's going to be a real shot. So if you're somebody who gets SNAP but who's also getting your health insurance through Obamacare, you're gonna get hit too.
Let's bring things closer to home now. Let's talk about the Memphis Safe Task Force, National Guard being here officially. What are you seeing? There's been so much debate as to whether crime is actually going down, where the numbers really stand there. What do you see, Mike? What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for a lot more transparency is what I'm looking for, and what these arrests are made up of. I mean, so we know that some of the numbers that we've seen that there are a lot of arrests. Most of those are not violent offenses. Most of them are minor offenses or immigration related, though there have been some significant violent offenses dealt with. And so, you know, so I think we need a little more transparency there. We also see, we see these numbers, people who are supportive of the task force or supportive of this move saying, oh, we've had 100 children rescued. Well, what does that mean exactly? So right in the beginning of this, TBI Director Roush said that, you know, the vast majority of these kids are runaways. Okay, well, they definitely need to be rescued. We definitely need to intervene. But what were they running from? What situation are we taking them back to? What types of services are we providing to address whatever those issues are? So there's a number of things that we're not getting a full picture of in terms of the impact.
Talk to us also about the picture involving the impact all of this is having on Shelby County Jail and the different facilities here, because when it comes to overcrowding, we're also hearing about a number of deaths, especially recently. How worried, how troubling is this for you?
Oh, I think it's very troubling that we've had 10 deaths this year in a facility that, as you said, we all know is overcrowded. It's over 40 years old. The county commission and mayors in the past, including when I served on the county commission, we kicked that can down the road when we knew there were problems with the jail then, and it's coming back to haunt us. And what a lot of people forget is that 201 Poplar is a pretrial facility, so you're presumed innocent when you go into 201 Poplar. It's not until after you've gone to trial or you pled guilty and had a conviction that you then serve a prison term. But a lot of folks are ended up in 201 Poplar for a long period of time because they can't afford the bail, and they're only accused of the crime.
So we'll quickly hear, what discussions do county leaders, city leaders, state leaders need to have when it comes to this matter, when it comes to overcrowding and what to do about our jails?
Well, I think they're going to have to bite the bullet ultimately and build a new jail, and that's a $1 billion plus prospect, and it's the kind of thing that, you know, if you talk about building schools, you can go out to the taxpayer and say, hey, we need new schools for our kids, and a lot of people will get on board. When you talk about building a new jail, it's hard to get folks on board that. But the fact is we're going to have to because it's becoming a human rights issue. And beyond that, you know, when these things happen, then you also set up county taxpayers to have to pay off lawsuits because of the neglect that goes on there.
A lot going on there, Mike, as always. Always glad to have you back. Let's keep this conversation going.